Thank you, Charles, and thank you to all of you, really, for being here today. We're going to talk a little bit about the sponsor today. Here is the speech you see. It's Innovating Field Service for Electric DSOs. I am Paolo Bergamo. I'm the CEO of OverIT. And if I can tell you a little bit, a minute of my story, I actually spent 20 years in California building enterprise apps for a large SaaS vendor, let's say. The last product I built was field service management, and naturally I got in touch with electricity companies, and I quickly figured out that the approach of most SaaS solutions, most software companies, which is to build a general purpose field service management solution, and then sell it to all industries. It works most of the times, but it really does not work for this industry, for the electricity in general, for the utility industries. And I'm going to tell you why this industry is different. You already know this, but think about what's happening, right? Think about what's happening in the world, climate change, let's say extreme conditions. Let me switch to this so I can see actually. So extreme weather conditions. Think about what's happening with the EVN storm in Ireland. I actually lived in Santa Monica in California for 20 years. The fires, the two fires, the Eaton fire and the Palisades fire got really close to my house. That's pretty shocking, right? And there's also something else happening, which is a high demand for electricity right now. On one side, we're churning a lot of the energy into electricity, right? On the other side, we want to save the world, and yet we are demanding more and more services that require energy and electricity, right? This is happening as well. Think about the smart cities right now. Many more things you can do in a city, and they require more energy, right? So, which also means that we need to do the most we can do with existing assets, and while we are building more and more assets, right? And the third part, which is really what we focus on, is technicians. The truth is that with the obsolete infrastructure, the knowledge of the obsolete infrastructure right now, it's in the brains and the minds of relatively few folks that are from an older generation. And that knowledge risks to completely go away. And what's happening in this case? Well, we need to figure out, number one, how to get their knowledge in, somehow we extract the knowledge from these people, but at the same time, we need to seduce the new generations to take this type of jobs. And the new generations love digital tools, and right now we're not providing digital tools to be sexy to these people. That's where we are. Now, when you think about all of this that's happening, and you think about using a general purpose solution for this type of complex use cases, just doesn't work. All of this really screams for a new approach in terms of digital solutions. Okay. And this is really, the way I'm thinking about this is there's three different pillars you need to follow for this type of industries. Number one is focus. You really need to have You cannot have a general purpose platform. You really need to focus on high-end complex use cases. You shouldn't think about scheduling the technician. You need to think about mutual aid, like it's happening right now with EVN and EON in Ireland. You need to think about vegetation management. You need to think about emergency response, right? But you also need to think about making it easy for the technicians on the field, because these people don't use a traditional mobile, they cannot use a traditional mobile application. They need to use an application that can be used with thick gloves, or maybe voice, because safety is really important in this space. So focus is the number one pillar. The second pillar is about business continuity. Well, it is important. Traditional SaaS vendors really push their upgrades at their own pace, but what happens if an upgrade on the system actually happens during a storm in Ireland and integrations break and technicians do not know where to go anymore? These are the things you should think about when you choose a software software partner, I should say. At the same time, the technician needs to be empowered to fully work for even up to a week because all the data they need, it's completely offline. Right? So this is what we think about. And cybersecurity, of course, which is super important. And the third pillar is really how you develop the software, how the software vendor develops the product. And I'm really proud and happy and lucky to be working with utilities because the utilities don't really compete with each other. They actually help each other. And what is a better way than actually to get all the brains together to actually guide the product roadmap with them? This is really what's behind the idea of OverIT. OverIT is the trusted digital partner for mission-critical operations in linear asset industries. This is all we do. We don't do other things. We are solely purposed to empower technicians, the silent heroes that actually keep the infrastructure running. And from a product portfolio perspective, I'm not going to take too much time on this, but from a product portfolio perspective, we have 3 solutions today. The field service management, which is really about dispatching the technicians and getting them the mobile application that can run with even up to a week completely offline. And at the same time, we have the field collaboration piece. You are a technician in front of an asset, you may need help from headquarters. Right, and that's the asymmetrical type of field collaboration platform we have built. And Geo, and you're going to appreciate this, GIS is super important in these industries. At the same time, it is important to aggregate the GIS information from multiple systems so that you can make better decisions, and that's one thing we do. And the other thing we do with the Geo product is really making sure you reconcile what you have in the GIS database with what's out there in real life, which is the classic dilemma of as designed versus as built. They never match, and you need a tool that help you reconcile that kind of data, okay? From a customer footprint, do know that in 25 years of history, we actually deployed 200 customers worldwide. That's pretty impressive. And even more impressive, we actually have 200 customers worldwide. They are still running all on our solution. We didn't have any single attrition in 25 years of history. It's a shocking stat, but I trust me, it's a real stat. And this is why in the last years, we've been skyrocketing in the analyst quadrants up to the top right corner, I should say. This is just an example. This is the IDC Marketscape for FSM for utilities, specifically for utilities, and we actually are the most to the right if you look at this. I think you're probably bored to hear me talk about the company, and the best way to really present the company and see what the company does is to actually ask one of our customer and partner, I should say, to tell the story and how OverIT helps their digital transformation. So I will ask Werner to actually introduce EVN, of course, and then the digital transformation we do with them.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, only for a few information about Netz Niederösterreich. It's a part of EVN Group. EVN Group is a multi-utility company. It is working in around 19 countries. And we have not only electricity, we have also gas, we have telecommunication infrastructure, we have wastewater, we have fresh water and district heating grids. But the main topic is about the DSO topic, that in 3 countries we have bigger organizations. The one is in Bulgaria, it is in North Macedonia, and also in Austria. It means we are very strong connected also to Southeast Europe in this case. And this project, what we will show you, is also directly implemented in all 3 organizations in the same time. And what is also important for us is how much is the number of technicians from our employees. This is around 3,000 people. They are now implementing in the field to work with this new field service management. And step by step we are going forward, and the potential in the group is of course much higher. Yeah, why we need further development in our organization? The one thing is the increasing of the renewables. As example, today in the opening session it was mentioned 20–30% more increase of investments. In our case, it is 3 to 4 times higher investments in the last years as it was before 2020. And therefore, with the renewables, we have to increase the investments, and this shows us also increase of the costs of the net grid tariffs. And this is a huge pressure now also from the regulatory issue, because in the last year, our grid tariff increased around 30%, and this is a huge impact, of course, of the costs of the customers. And these investments also have an implementation about our employees, because we need more assets. More asset means in the future also more employees in our companies. And if you see this, when you have a new employees, the education is not the same as it was in the past. We have a churn rate, but is much higher than in the past when you look backwards 20 years ago. And the same is also that we have a wave of retirement in front of us with this baby boomer issue, yeah? And this brings us to the topic, we need the last point, increasing of demand of digitalization. We need new technologies, and this is the case was also in the opening session was, we need also more efficiency in our organization, and for this, Johannes Liedler will now bring you the details of our project together with OverIT. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. What is the challenge that Werner just explained in 4 bullet points? It's about the challenge for us, digitalization of our asset maintenance. And we have 4 key figures that we are addressing at the moment. The first is, and I'm sure that many of you DSOs know about this, you have a very distributed source of asset information. And we are on a journey here from the left to the right, and we want to bring the asset information to a single point of truth, where we know where our asset information is, and that it is true where it is. And at the moment, we also have limited asset information in the field, so we don't know much about the assets. We don't have sensors installed. But what we want to achieve, we want to implement more sensor data, more real-life data, and therefore make things like predictive maintenance possible. At the moment, and Werner talked about this, we are running the operations in 3 different countries. We have very different ways how we document all our work, and it is our aim to create digital workflows that are the same in all the countries, and to get rid of these individual processes. And this also needs a change of the organization, not only about the way of the thinking of the employees, but also to build the organization around the new processes and make dispatching of workforce in an optimal, effective way possible. And this leads us to this transformation journey that we are describing here, starting what we call a target operating model, so changing the operation, the organization around our technicians, about our field technicians that enable introducing new ways of work. And asset performance management systems are crucial in this role to actually generate work orders for the technicians in the future and have a fully digitalized process end-to-end in the whole chain of operation. And the end, and which is actually in touch with the technicians, with our 3,000 technicians in the 3 countries, which are highlighted here in the background map of Europe, in Austria, Bulgaria, and Northern Macedonia, is the field service management. And we are partnering here with OverIT and started the journey in 2023 after tender procedure. And what we want to achieve are 5 main goals. The first goal is, with a digitalized way of working, we want to enhance the customer satisfaction so that the customer is treated as good as possible by our technicians. The second goal is to support our employees in the field in the best way possible with new information from past inspections, from past processes, live on the devices in the field. This also should improve efficiency, not only by having good information and the right tools in the field, but also in optimization of the planning of the tasks and their operational tasks and processes. Through digitalization, we can enhance then a high quality of data and enhance a high quality of processes, harmonized processes, as I said before, in not individualized processes like in the past. And this will lead finally to a transparent status of our tasks that we have to provide for our customers in all dimensions, for the customers, for the technicians, for the management, and for the stakeholders itself. And now some short words about the next steps in this transformation. Again, these three crucial initiatives, starting to reshape our organizational structure. It's the first arrow. In autumn 2025, we will change the way of working for our 1,000 technicians in Austria, step by step, not at the same time, because we're also implementing SAP HANA at the same time. So you know it's a great stress on the organization, and we want to adapt slowly for everybody so that it is achievable. Then, supporting this, we will, what we said before, the single point of truth, introduce systems that actually support these processes and the organization and give digital information and data to the field service management, which is the last and dark red stream that we will launch now in February, the next step of our implementation project. And therefore, again, coordinated and harmonized with the two other initiatives, we will by step, introduce new processes and new digital ways of working to our technicians. I've talked a lot about the three countries and the processes, and I just want to highlight that we are running this project structure in a parallel way. We are introducing different processes at the same time in different countries. And I'm sure some of you are maybe also interested in this kind of approach, so feel free to approach to us in the coffee breaks, how we achieve this. Partnering with OverIT, they can make it possible to run multiple projects in different cultures, different languages, and different processes at the same time to rise the best way of synergy possible. And you see very multiple processes. It's not only maintenance, but this is our key focus, as we have already installed a lot of smart meters, so metering topics are not the first on our agenda, but maintenance and construction will be the processes that we want to digitalize to boost us into future. And I think we have found a great partner for innovating field service management for electric DSOs, and as Werner said, also for gas DSOs as we are. Thank you, and Paolo.
Thank you, Johannes, and thank you, Werner. It's been truly a blessing to find you as a partner. Truly, we are co-developing and enhancing the product together. So thank you so much for the partnership. So here is a little bit. I'm going to wrap it up quickly. This is what I would like for you to remember out of this presentation. OverIT is the trusted digital partner for mission-critical operations in linear asset industries. We help our customers to run the vital systems. We do it with sustainability in mind because at the end of the day, we are about efficiency for the technicians. But the last program I would like to tell you a little bit about is our focus on humanitarian aid. If you think about this, our platform is so mission critical for many mission critical infrastructures. It's even more mission critical when it is about humanitarian aid.
In today's world, humanitarian emergencies are escalating due to armed conflicts, natural disasters, and the devastating impacts of climate change. In these moments, humanitarian organizations are the beacons of hope, but igniting that hope is far from easy. Delivering aid in these environments is a race against numerous obstacles. Complex distribution networks, transportation hazards, damaged infrastructures, and emotional distress. Yet, there is a way to overcome these challenges. Field service management technology addresses the needs of humanitarian organizations as the driving force behind any collective change effort. Whether it be logistics, food delivery, wash, health, shelter, communications, or education, OverIT is the trusted digital partner for mission-critical operations, bringing field service management expertise and innovation to empower humanitarian organizations in managing priorities and ensuring help arrives where it is needed, when it is needed, building a fairer, more equitable, and sustainable world. Together.
Here is our philanthropic program. We call it Tech for Aid. It's got 3 simple pillars. We provide our solution to nonprofits that deal with humanitarian crisis. And I'm really pleased to tell you that today we are working with Red Cross and United Nations. We also put a service, the expertise we have in-house on processes, and why not, implementation of the software to the same nonprofits. And the third pillar is we actually been hiring refugees, tech-skilled refugees from all around the world. And we're really proud of this. I hope you appreciate it. This is it.